Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Bell, in your opening statement that you provided for the record, you pledged, and I'll quote, to support the initiatives of President Trump and Secretary Kennedy, end of quote. And then you go on to say you're going to support, quote, their courageous and innovative change of direction for the improved health care of all Americans, end of quote. It's unusual to see those kinds of quotes from an IG who is supposed to be a watchdog, supposed to hold folks accountable. Traditionally, we don't see opening statements for an IG that is saying, I'm excited to be a cheerleader for the administration. I'm going to be there cheering them every step of the way. That's not the job of an IG. I think you know that. The idea is to hold administrations accountable. Just as you were asked by the Secretary Moody to hold administrations accountable, you have to hold them accountable, not be a cheerleader. What did you mean by those statements? Tell me that you will be an actual watchdog, which is the job of the IG.
Thank you for the question, Senator, and thank you for the opportunity to explain what I mean by initiatives. I think the administration has several initiatives that any Congress would get behind, which is improving the delivery of health care, improving the compliance with federal statutes to make Medicare, Medicaid viable for the future by making sure the recipients are the intended recipients by Congress, to make sure that agencies don't go astray looking at potato chips and Elvis Presley. And I think those initiatives are the good government, good delivery, waste, fraud, and abuse initiatives that both the Secretary and the President have announced. And I also think the structure of the IG statute calls for cooperation and collaboration with the agency head, calls for being a student of Congress and congressional intent, and it also allows the IG to initiate investigations or management reviews on his or her own initiative. Those are the three places, the three buckets that IG initiatives can fall into. Certainly many of those initiatives come from the administration, and I hope to be as helpful as I can in rooting out waste, fraud, and abuse.
Well, I think we all agree those are good initiatives. Those are good initiatives for all of us to be focused on, but the job of the IG is to say, you know, this initiative is not doing what it's intended to do, and sometimes that means calling out things that may be not flattering to an administration, but that's the job of an IG. You talk about one of the powers under the Act is that you can initiate investigations, which is really critical, that you see something that doesn't seem right, your team sees something that isn't right, you begin the investigations. A president, regardless of the party, president may not be happy with that initiative because it could be embarrassing or show a major flaw in what they're trying to do. And then a president's going to call up an IG and say, hey, stop this investigation. Even though you have the power, in fact, the expectation that you will be the one initiating it. President Trump calls you and says, stop it. Will you tell him no? The law pretty clearly shows that I can initiate this investigation, and I believe that it's something that the taxpayers of the United States need to know what's going on. Would you say no to President Trump?
First of all, Senator, I don't have any experience in my time in the previous administration, nor do I know anyone who served in that administration or this one who's been asked by the president to do anything unethical or illegal, so I don't believe he would do that. Secondly, as you and I discussed yesterday in your office, I think an IG is supposed to call, in the words of Senator Wyden, call balls and strikes without secretly wearing a jersey for the pitcher or the batter. I like that characterization, and that's what I would do if confirmed.
Mr. Walk, as a senior advisor to USDA, you have been intimately involved in agency operations. As Inspector General, you would be likely tasked with conducting oversight of these very issues. But given your clearly partisan work, I don't believe we can trust that you're going to be able to do that in a free, nonpartisan way. So will you recuse yourself from any matters on which you personally worked on at the USDA? That would give us more trust if you would commit right now to recuse yourself from anything that you worked on at USDA.
Senator, I appreciate the question. Recusals are very fact-specific. What I will commit to doing is to follow all federal laws applicable to federal employees, all regulations. I also look to applicable guidance, such as from OGE, as well as professional standards, including for accounting independence, as well as for the legal profession. I also intend to consult with our IG counsel. We also have a group, the Office of Compliance and Integrity, whose job is to make sure that our products are done in a way that meets professional standards, and I'll also work with them as well to make sure there's integrity in our work.
Let's hope that's the case. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.